Does your Poulan chainsaw run for about 10 seconds and then quit? In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix that. Coming up right now. Okay, let's get started here. I've already kind of taken this apart, but I'm going to just show you. This cover here is just some screws right here and one over here, and it should pop right out of there. And this one here is just some screws around here, and just pull it out. I've already removed the primer ball right there, so just pull that out. Okay, set those aside. And we're going to need to get this air cleaner out of the way right here. Alright, now that we've got the covers out of the way, the problem is you got to work the fuel line through the little holes in the gas tank, and they're kind of tough to get through there. Here's one over here, and there's another one here. That's a little harder to see until we get the carburetor out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the carburetor out of the way. You could probably get this other hose through there with the carburetor in the way, but the second hole is down back here, so it's going to make it a little bit difficult. So just get that out of the way just to make it easier. Alright, so if you're just now pulling your fuel lines out and they break on you, take an ink pen or something like that and just push it down through there just to make sure that the lines are clear. And then if you did push anything through there, just go back in the tank and shake it out, whatever fell in the tank, and get rid of it. So what you're going to want to do to get these lines back up through there is kind of cut an angle on this the end of this fuel line right there so that it's sticking to a point. And then I just made this little thing out of here out of a guitar string, and then put a little loop on the end of it right here so that you can pull it through. It's all you need. If you don't have any guitar string, then just use some heavy-duty wire that's thin like that. But a guitar string works great. So all I did here is poke a hole in there with a needle and then hook the guitar string through there. And it's pretty strong. Hopefully it'll hold up there when I'm trying to pull it through the hole. Also, you're going to want to put a little bit of oil on the end of this hose right there to help it get through. Once it gets through a little bit, I can grab it with some pliers and pull it the rest of the way. But this goal right here is just to get it through, and that's it. So just feed this guitar string, feed the guitar string down through there so that you can grab it on the other end with some pliers or whatever. Alright, as you can see, it came out right here. So just hook it back on there and then add a little bit of oil. I'm just going to use some 3-in-1 oil. Alright, and just grab the end of this wire here and kind of pull it. Use the pliers if you have to, until you can get your hands on it. And just pull it kind of a little bit at a time. There we go. Alright, and just kind of work it through slowly. It's almost about enough right there. I can grab it with the pliers. There we go. We got it. Just work it slow. This larger line goes to the primer ball. I'll show you that in a second. Just kind of easily, just gently pull it through. If you try to carry it away and pull it through too fast, you'll just break the line, and then you'll be sitting in a bathtub. All right. So just keep pulling it through. See it coming through the tank right here. You'll be able to look inside the tank. It's not showing up on the camera right here, but I can see it, and you'll be able to see it too when you look in there. Just keep pulling it slowly. almost there. That's about it right there. And of course, just feed it down through here until we go to put the primer ball in place, and then we'll deal with the length of it then. Now, if you notice here, we got a long nipple and a short nipple. It's written right here. I don't know if it's showing up, but the longer one goes to the tank, and the shorter one goes to the carburetor. And go ahead and hook this up. Make sure you don't cut it too short. And we'll go ahead and hook it up. And that goes to the tank side. Just like so. And then the other line, we're going to hook it up now and feed it through, and we're going to put it back on the carburetor whenever I get back to installing the carburetor. Alright, so you got the little line here, and what's going to happen is that little line is going to go over to one side of the carburetor. There's two tubes that stick out of the carburetor right here, and you might look at them and say, well, which one goes to which? I don't know. So what it is in here, I'll show you real quick. This big line coming out of the tank right here that we just pulled through a minute ago goes to the side of the bulb that I showed you, and then the little line comes off of the bulb and goes over to the side of the carburetor, to the metering side of the carburetor right here. You can tell that because one of these fuel lines sticks straight out and the other one is sticking out at an angle. This one that sticks out at an angle is the one that gets the line that comes off of the primer bulb. This other one, the one that sticks out straight, is the inlet that comes off of the fuel filter that's in the tank. We're going to cut this little line off to make sure it's long enough to get to the inlet there. And then the other side, we're going to have to pull up through the tank, and that's where the bulb is going to get attached to, not the bulb, but the fuel filter. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before with the guitar string and the oil and all that, and we're going to pull it up through there, and I'll come back in just a second. Push this down in there, and then bring it out where the fuel tank cap is. Alright, just slowly work it through. I'm going to try not to block the camera because I kind of need to pull from straight on. And just slowly work it through. Remember to put the oil on there, helps a lot. And we're through. So just grab it with the pliers and pull it around so that it will reach the side of the carburetor. Obviously remember, before you pull too much, to put the fuel filter on there so that you don't have to fish that back out of the hole. Alright, I got the fuel filter on there. And by the way, if you don't have this tool, you can probably buy this tool from Amazon or somewhere like that. But why buy anything that you can make for virtually free? If you guys have a local guitar store, just go there and get it. I'm sure they've got an old used guitar string somewhere around there that they'll let you have. And just keep pulling that through. Don't pull it too short because this fuel line's got to have enough length on it inside the tank to reach the bottom of the tank and stuff like that. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Alright, so we're just going to hook the fuel lines up. Remember I said that the one coming off of the primer ball here went over to this angled one onto the metering side of the carburetor. And then the one coming out of the tank, which is this one, goes to the inlet, which is the pipe or the little nipple there that's sticking straight out, and it's not angled like the other one. There it is. Alright, so we're going to put this all back together, and then I'll come back and run it for you. I'm not going to show putting the covers back on because that's just pretty simple stuff right there. Alright, so let's see if this thing runs after we got all our lines hooked up. Works like a champ. All right, guys, just a couple of tips right here. Once you get those fuel lines in there and you're going to put everything back together, make sure that those fuel lines are not rubbing against the linkage right here, because what will happen is those rods are going back and forth and they'll saw a hole in your fuel line, and then you'll have the same problem all over again. So keep that in mind. If you enjoyed this video, click on that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I come out with videos like this just as often as I can. Thanks for watching.